I've made a good living as a writer. I started out as a legitimate newspaper man, but then I started writing for magazines, articles about movie stars and other famous people. So for the last few years, it's been celebrity profiles mainly. Actually, nothing but celebrity profiles and more celebrity profiles. If I died today, I'd be remembered as the guy who made up the term Brangelina. You're welcome. Which is why finally I said goodbye to all that and decided to become a real writer, a book writer, a writer of books. I've only been at it for 6 months, but it's going just great. Really, really, really great. So when I got a call about a consulting job, I said there was simply no way I could tear myself away from my book writing to... Oh, who am I kidding?
Mr. Brennan! Welcome to the Beachhampton Gazette. James Wilson Jr., editor-in-chief.
Hi.
Do you mind if I get a picture?
I'd really rather you didn't. Okay.
It's this new contacts app I got for my phone. This way, when you call me, your face comes up, so I don't have to waste any time trying to remember what you look like.
I can see how that would be onerous.
Steve, Mike, Steve.
It's good to meet you.
What do you think?
That's a dynamite picture.
Steve's my #1 reporter here. Holly's my other #1 reporter, and Mike's the guy that's gonna turn this whole place around.
Thank you. Thank you. There's no need for that.
Oh, what do we got here? Some old-fashioned journalism?
Well, it's my story about the fundraiser at the Coast Guard station.
Great. Scan this into a PDF and shoot it through to my primary email.
We don't have a scanner or a computer or an internet connection.
Tough break. Is there a Kinko's nearby?
Or you could just use the hard copy, maybe.
Right, Steve, head down to Kinko's, get me a hard copy.
That is the hard copy.
You're the expert. Right, you see what's happening here, guys? He's already making changes. Let's spread the good word. Woo! Yes! You want to give this a read?
Oh, sure.
Out loud?
I'm not going to read aloud to you.
Dyslexia?
Dignity.
Fair enough.
May I ask you a question? Why exactly am I here?
For this. The Beachhampton Gazette, one of the oldest small-town newspapers in America.
How old is it exactly?
Good question. What do you think, Google or Wikipedia?
Oh, founded in 1768.
Okay, there's a terrible Wi-Fi connection in here.
1768.
Here it comes.
1768.
1786. Thank you, Wikipedia. So, your agent tells me you're writing a book. So cool. What's it about?
Well, don't take this the wrong way, but I'm a little skittish about talking about it before it's completely done.
Yeah, I hear you. You don't want to unleash the lion before it's tamed.
Yeah, that's right. Lion taming, that whole thing. So what do you need from me, James?
Here's the thing. I think we can both agree that newspapers are basically old and stupid and useless.
I emphatically disagree.
So here's the deal in a nutsack. What I want to do is take the Beachhampton Gazette into the 21st century.
A terrible idea.
You know, get a web presence, do some content aggregation, maybe explore some B2B synergies.
I don't know what any of that means. So how long have you been running the Gazette?
1 week.
Okay, well, that explains a few things.
My father left me this newspaper. He said I could take it over when I turned 30 if I didn't have anything else going on. So
here you are.
Here I am.
That's an inspiring story.
I want to make this paper a success, and I want to do it on my own. And if I fail, I want it to be on my own terms. So will you help me, Mike? Will you help me fail on my own terms?
Sounds like a winning strategy.
Now, how long does it take to learn how to run a newspaper?
Some would say it takes a lifetime.
I'm a real fast learner, Mike. Can we squeeze that into a day?
What? No.
The money's good.
Well, I'm sure it is, but how good? The three pillars of newspaper publishing are editorial, art, and advertising. Editorial would include, right, you should be writing this down. I'm going to be talking very fast.
Staff meeting.
Coming. So we have these small get-togethers. We call them staff meetings.
I know what a staff meeting is.
Oh. You are gonna love this. I call head of the table. Mike, say hello to the staff of the Beachhampton Gazette. Staff Mike. Bring him up.
That's okay. You really don't have to do that every time. Is this the whole staff?
Don't forget Don.
Who's Don?
Don runs the printing press. He pretty much keeps to the basement.
Will I ever meet him?
Probably not. And don't go down there. The basement is Don's territory.
Well, if I ever need a dress made from human skin, at least I'll know where to go.
Honestly, it's not. Sue, how do you want to kick this off, Mike? Listen up, guys. He's about to bless us with some wisdom.
Well, tomorrow's issue, what's the lead story?
The lead story is the main story that goes on the front page.
I know what a lead story is.
Yeah, that was for me, Mike. Thanks, Holly. So, what do we got?
Well, I got those pictures you asked for.
Right! Great story. Sea monster washes up on West Beach, and we got the pictures to prove it.
That isn't a sea monster, that's just a really large fish.
Right? A monstrously large fish, one might say.
Not even a very large fish, it's just a regular-sized fish photographed really close up. With someone's...
Oh, yeah, that's my foot. Sorry about that.
Okay. What if it was woman's foot almost bit by baby sea monster?
Virtually no improvement.
I'm just trying to put a little pizzazzle on the front page, Mike.
Well, didn't anything else happen here this week? Any burglaries? House fires? Parking tickets? Does anybody have anything?
Well, they're planning on demolishing the old Wingate Mather Orphanage building.
Snooze, right? Snoozer.
No, wait a minute. What was that again?
It's an abandoned orphanage. The locals have been trying to tear down forever, but the Committee for the Preservation of Historical Beachhampton wants to make it a landmark.
Well, see, now that sounds like something. Not a great story, but certainly better than a make-believe sea monster.
Hey, everybody, listen up. I got clients coming in. Look busy.
We are busy.
Who's that?
That's my sister, Neely.
Everyone, say hello to the Hargraves. They're about to put a bid on the old Jackson place on West Beach. Look, see, what did I tell you? We've got our own little newspaper. Isn't it quaint? I mean, look at this headline. Bake sale marred by inclement weather. So why don't you just run across the street and get yourselves an iced cream, and I'll join you in a moment, okay? Great. Oh, I love those slacks, sweetie. Dummy.
Yes.
Headlines like that are not making my job any easier. I don't need prospective buyers worrying about freak rainstorms.
Miss Wilson, I printed up those brochures that you wanted, and I collated them, and you're looking beautiful today, which is a silly thing to say because
Put them in my car.
I'm on it.
Well, who have we here? Is there a stranger in our midst?
Mike Brennan.
Neely Wilson, charmed, I'm sure. So, are you here to buy, rent, or just to flirt, Mr. Brennan?
Well, none of the above, actually.
He's writing a book.
Oh, grown-ups are talking, darling. So. What's your little book about?
Well, it's just in the beginning stages.
Is it
so not
bawdy and
really-
scandalous? Oh, you must tell me every little thing about it.
He's just here to give us a few tips on how to run the paper.
Ooh, how charming. So, tomorrow's issue, what's the lead story?
The lead story is the main story that's on the front page.
Everybody knows about that. we're thinking that the old orphanage story sounds pretty solid.
No, pass. We don't need the preservation committee getting all up in arms about some little old shack being torn down.
Well, that's not what it's about. It's about what the orphanage stands for. History, tradition, reverence for the past.
You're so cute. Come here. Look, now, putting aside the fact that my brother runs this paper, let's just take a quick look and see all the advertisers that keep this paper afloat, shall we? Wilson Beachfront Real Estate, Wilson Ale House, Wilson Family Seafood, Wilson Brothers Hardware. Shall I continue?
No, I get it.
Our last name is Wilson.
I got it.
So do bear in mind, Mr. Brennan, that of all the businesses our father left us, the newspaper's the only one that doesn't make any money.
Which is about to change now that we've got the great Mike Brennan on board. Come on, right?
Oh, please, guys. No, seriously, it's irritating. Really, it's very irritating.
Well, it's lovely to have met you, Mr. Brennan. Perhaps you'd be available for cocktails sometime.
Perhaps.
And Jimmy, I'd forget about that orphanage story if I were you.
That's really my decision.
Yeah, unless you want to lose the entire block of Wilson advertisers.
Decision made.
Well, I am off. Do think about those cocktails.
I'm thinking about one right now.
Oh! He's a silver-tongued devil to boot. All right, ta-ta. Mwah. What?
Quite a lady, your sister.
I know what you're thinking, Mr. Brennan, but no dice. She's spoken for. Spoken for.
You know you can't let your sister tell you how to run the newspaper, right?
Right. Because
Because it violates every journalistic principle there is. Listen, James, I'm not going to lie to you. This consulting job could be the perfect setup for me. The money's good and gives me plenty of time to work on my book.
which is about
Hush. But most of all because, well, I happen to love newspapers. But I really can't do this unless I know that you're serious.
I am serious. I'm very serious. I am serious.
I need a little caffeine. I'm gonna get some coffee.
See if you can rustle me up a banana smoothie. That would be amazing.
I'll see what I can do.
Mr. Brennan, can I ask you something, one journalist to another?
Oh, sure, Holly.
What's Tom Cruise really like?
He's pretty much just as I describe him, only shorter.
Wow. What about Brad Pitt?
Well, they're all pretty much just like I described them, but shorter.
It must be so great being a celebrity journalist.
Oh, one would think so, Holly. One would think so. But then a few years pass and you realize you're basically just a bloodsucker, a human remora, feeding off of the tattle and blather of strange creatures who swim in a miasma of their own narcissism. You know what I mean?
Mr. Brennan?
Yes?
Okay, two things. First thing is I don't know you, but I like you, so I do not want to have to fight you, but I will if I have to.
I'm sure that won't be necessary, Steve.
Good. Because what Miss Wilson and I have is a special connection. It's a kind of a connection where, like, maybe she doesn't know what the connection is yet, but we...
What's the second thing, Steve?
Right, the second thing. I went down to the county assessor's office and got those papers on the orphanage that you wanted here.
Oh, terrific.
And Mr. Brennan,
Yes, Steve.
I am glad we could settle this like gentlemen.
Me too. So, James,
Yes.
it would appear that the property that the old orphanage stands on was purchased just last year by a company called Wilson Investments, LLC.
That's a weird name for a company.
A company solely owned by one Ms. Neely Wilson, who, unless I'm mistaken,
is my sister. Yes, my sister owns the property, okay? I knew that. Guilty as charged. She wants to build a day spa on the land.
Well, you know what this means, don't you?
Yeah, that I'll be able to get us all free massages.
That's not what I'm talking about, and you know it.
If I run this story, my sister's gonna tear me a new one. Again. A newer one, I guess you'd call it.
So let her tear you one. At least it'll be torn in the name of journalistic integrity.
This is getting into a creepy area.
Okay, let's try this. James, who's your hero?
Spider-Man.
How about a real human being?
Peter Parker.
How about a non-fictional human being?
Jeff Mitchell.
Who's Jeff Mitchell?
The guy who turned me on to Spider-Man. What's your point, Mike?
I have no idea. I had a point originally. There was a point, but I've lost it. It's completely gone. It's totally gone.
Was it something about my sister?
Yes. You have to stand up to her.
I can't stand up to Neely. I've never been able to, and I never will.
Oh, well, then you're wasting my time here. And your own. You're a dabbler, James, a dabbler. And if you don't know what that means, you can look it up in Googlepedia.
Mike, wait. First of all, it's Wikipedia or Google. Googlepedia doesn't even exist. It's not a half bad idea, though.
Have a nice life, James.
Mike, I thought about it. You're right.
I know I'm right.
Then let's run the orphanage story.
What about your sister?
Who cares what she thinks?
You do.
Let's do this. I just want to do this and do it right. One thing in my life.
You're gonna have to get a quote, you know.
I know. From who?
What do you think?
So let me get this straight. My brother spends his 20s blowing all of his money backpacking around the world, which, by the way, is supposed to cost nothing.
I misplaced a lot of luggage.
And then when he finally decides at 30 to have a career, his first move is to make me public enemy #1. Do I have this right?
James, do you have anything to add?
Maybe Mike can clarify what the...
No, James. This is all yours.
So, you have a quote?
You'd like a quote, James? I'll give you a quote. Take this down. America was built on progress. The Wingate Mather Orphanage is not only an eyesore, but a sad reminder that Beachhampton's better days lie in its future, not in its past. You got that?
Got it.
Why don't you read that back to me then?
No problem. America was an eyesore.
America was built on progress. The Wingate Mather Orphanage.
Yes, he has it. That's all I have to say on the matter. Good evening, gentlemen. Rosa!
You done good, James.
Thank you. And technically, as you would say, it's you did good, but thanks.
Well, actually, technically, it would be you did well, but...
And technically, you know how to take all the fun out of a compliment. How's it looking?
Oh, it's looking good. Not earth-shattering, but it's a good, solid story. Good old-fashioned journalism.
Mike,
Yeah, Holly, what do you got?
I went to the Historical Foundation and dug up the original deed for the orphanage written by Wingate Mather himself in 1853.
Perfect. Read me the good parts.
I, Wingate Mather, do hereby bestow upon this town, blah, 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 a home for orphans, foundlings, and the other human detritus of this troubled world.
Excellent. Keep going.
In hopes that our community will be spared the ungodly public sight of children of native, savage, mixed race, or pure Negroid descent. Likewise, shall the unwanted offspring of the nefarious Jew and the filthy Irish be kept under lock and key such that the bestial offspring of these...
I think we get the general idea. Well, good luck with your paper.
And so it is with a great sense of civic pride that we hereby demolish this last remaining testament to our darker days as we move forward to a future in which hatred and intolerance are simply a mere memory to our fine community. And yes, we have had our battles over this issue, but that's all in the past now. Preservation Committee Co-Chair Kelly Ben-Simon, I give you my hand in peace.
Get all that?
I got it. I got it. I got it up to cervical pride, but I got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of myself and the rest of the town council, don't forget that tonight is demolition night at the Wilson Ale House. All drinks half price.
Oh, good job, boys. Great story. I couldn't have written a better one myself. Excuse us, James.
On behalf of the Board of Supervisors, I'd also like to take a moment to thank Wilson Catering. Yes, ma'am. Thanks for coming, everyone.
So I hear you'll be staying on with us for a while.
Well, just for a few months, until I finish my book.
Ooh, yes, the mysterious book.
Miss Wilson, I was wondering
No.
if... Thank you.
Listen, do what you can with my brother, will you? I promised our father he would amount to something someday.
I'm sure you will.
Daddy didn't think so. But I like a good fixer-upper. So can I find you a rental property while you're here?
No thanks. I'm all set.
So you shan't need my services?
No, I shan't.
Ah, ta-ta then.
Toodaloo, I suppose.
Mike, you know what you should write your book about?
No, James, I don't.
A Year in the Life of a Small Town. Right? That's a good title, too.
Small town like, say, Beachhampton, New York?
I was thinking someplace more like Arizona, Idaho. But I mean, what? You're the writer, right?